We are less than 48 hours away from the drop of House of David Season 1 over on Amazon Prime. The first 3 episodes come out on Thursday, and this is a really exciting time. If you need a free trial, a 1-month free trial for Amazon Prime, in order to watch all of House of David, then go over to my link in the description down below, and that'll give you 30 days free of Amazon Prime video, so you can watch that over there. This is going to be amazing. We just got the final trailer for House of David. I haven't seen this at all yet, so let's watch it and then break it down. Here we go.
David's heart is like a deep fire, set strong, unbroken.
It is the very reason he was chosen.
I want a place with the king's warriors.
David, you are a poet, and you are a shepherd. You are not a man of blood.
I was meant for more than this.
King's a Philistine. We shall ride against Saul. But our gods and nightmares will go before us.
David, you have the heart of a lion. What do lions do? They roar.
Send me your champion!
Super interesting, super interesting. Much different than the first one for sure. This, I love the opening shot here. Of course, we have David in the cave, as behind him is a lion. So we know that David fights several different animals as he's protecting his sheep and different things like this in scripture. But we're seeing this here kind of play out as the lion is going to attack him in this cave, I believe, or he's going there to take out the lion that's been hunting his sheep. And so my guess is that he'll find, some of his sheep or something in here, and then he'll have to kill the lion. And we see that shot later on in the trailer, in this trailer and the past trailer, of him like covered in blood. Obviously, that's after he's killed this lion, which is pretty intense for sure. Let's kind of go through and see what's going on here. Obviously, you see him in the cave. I'm rewatching this clip right here, and it's really interesting whenever David turns around and the fire stays above his head. I wonder if this was done purposefully, almost showing like the presence of God with him, almost like Pentecost, right? I don't know if that's done on purpose or if it was just like the propane torch, like leaving behind some gas and just happened to outline his head there. I don't know. If they did that on purpose, that's insanely cool. Anyway, just wanted to point that out. Here we've got the prophet himself as he's talking to David as we go through. This looks like he's talking to someone else, actually. Maybe this is a different conversation. Yeah, maybe that's David's father, Jesse, who, of course, is in the line of David, and then, of course, Jesus eventually as well.
He was chosen.
I want to...
This looks pretty good. It looks very stylized, for sure. Very much different than The Chosen, I think, in a lot of ways. The way that it's kind of shot here. For example, like this side of the city wouldn't really be lit up, but because it is, it looks a little bit more stylistic. It doesn't look as real as some of the other projects we've seen. So I wonder how that plays out in the rest of the show as well.
The place with the king's warriors.
And obviously here's Saul in his tent with a bunch of his advisors and different people around him, which is pretty cool.
Warriors.
And then this sequence here, we saw in the last trailer as well. My guess in this is that this is some sort of dream or nightmare sequence where we're seeing actually the death of Jonathan, which we saw in the previous trailer as well. I don't think they're actually going to show that in this season because they want Jonathan as a recurring character throughout the life of David as they continue on through season 2, 3, 4, however many seasons they do. So it doesn't make sense to me that they would have Jonathan die in season 1. Historically, it doesn't make sense, and in the storyline, it doesn't make sense. I think it makes a way better story if they continue on with Jonathan and see where he goes in the future. But this sequence here, this orange sequence, has something to do with a war where Jonathan dies. I think it's probably either Saul having a nightmare or something like that. But there we see Jonathan fighting.
David, you.
And then back to David playing harp for Saul here. We see Jonathan, as well as I think this is Michal here, who is obviously Saul's daughter, who has a relationship with David later on. We're going to see a bit of that in this trailer.
You are a poet, and you are a
So there's her
shepherd.
there. There's him being a shepherd with his harp.
You are not a man of blood.
I'm not sure who that is, if that's one of his brothers. I think we talked about this last trailer too. This guy here, I'm not sure who he is. Or who he's connected to. Maybe this is just David's literal home. Like this is the home of Jesse. That would make sense. Having as many sons as he does, it would need to be a pretty big home. So here's David showing off his skills with the sling. I wonder how good the actor actually got with a sling during this production.
I was meant for more than this.
And here he is at this lake again. This keeps on making me think that this is some sort of dream sequence, because we've seen like a warrior that's here. It looked like some sort of like divine mystical type warrior, and then we've also seen David's hand go into the water and like turns on fire. Like, I don't know what that is about, so I don't know if this is a dream sequence as well.
King's a Philistine.
There we see Saul walking down the hallway. Here's the Philistine. Actually, is that the Philistine king that was walking down the hallway? Probably. Yeah, this is the Philistines here as they're getting ready for battle.
King's a Philistine. We shall ride against Saul.
We shall ride against Saul. And then, of course, there's the army kind of riding up. This looks pretty good overall. I'll have to see it in context and see how well the final product looks. The lightning in the background is a tiny bit cheesy. I'll say that. But it looks good overall. This doesn't necessarily remind me of the Valley of Elah. I've been there several times. That's where the battle actually took place historically. It doesn't really look like that. It's actually pretty green, and there's a lot of... it's like a farm now, but... maybe back then it was different, but it's between two mountains. And it's a pretty small location. Like, there's not this much vast space. There's hills on either side, and so it's not this big. But obviously, it looks good on camera.
But our gods and nightmares will go before us.
There's Goliath, and here's it looks like we're gonna get some sequences of Goliath kind of terrorizing people. There he is about to stomp on someone, which is crazy.
David, you have the heart.
And then we have this scene from before where David is, this is Jonathan, sorry, looking towards Goliath's hand as they're talking about the giant.
Lion. What do lions do?
And then we hear the prophet in the background. David, you have the heart of a lion. What do lions do? They roar as he gets ready for battle.
They roar.
And there he is. That shot there is right after he's killed the lion, would be my guess. It makes a lot of sense that he would have kind of blood over him and all of that there. I wonder how he kills the lion. I guess with the sling, right? I don't know. And then we see here what looks like a donkey, which may be some foreshadowing towards Christ, and even his son Solomon rode a donkey into Jerusalem. And then here he's picking up some stones. I don't know if this is for the battle itself, the 5 stones there, or if this is something else. And then here's Goliath coming through. We've seen this shot before.
Send me your champion.
Goliath!
And then some of the same shots we've seen before. We haven't seen that one. Here's Jonathan riding into battle as he's on a horse, it looks like, pointing forward. And then here's Michal and David, it looks like. I think that's Michal and David, unless that's Jonathan. Maybe that's Jonathan. Because David's not wearing anything during these shots, right? Is he wearing stuff later? Is that her? I can't tell. I don't know these characters well enough yet. I haven't watched the show, obviously. It looks like David, though, from that shot. Yeah, he doesn't have a beard. Right? Am I crazy? Yeah, I think that's David and Michal. So maybe their relationship kind of starts this season. This is a really cool shot. This looks like the throne room of either the Philistines or Saul. I don't think it's the throne room of Saul, right? We saw that earlier. Didn't we? No. Yeah, we did. Let me see. Let's go back here. Is this the same place? I don't think so, huh? Maybe it is. Yes, it is. It is. They have the same iconography on the background here. So this is the same place. So maybe this is another nightmare from Saul here. As we see his throne on fire, which of course is kind of pointing towards David. Another shot of that here. Is this from the same dream sequence where Jonathan dies? Maybe. This is Saul here. Again, kind of covered in fire as his kingdom is burning. David obviously is going to take over soon. That's interesting. Some good iconography there. Then we see David as he's going to take out the giant, and that's it. So that comes out in less than 48 hours. If you guys are ready for that, ready for my deep dives, definitely subscribe to the channel, come back, and let me know your thoughts about House of David overall. Of course, we're going to be diving deep into this one I've got to brush up on all my David stuff. I've been so focused on the New Testament and the Chosen and everything else like that for a long time. It's going to be exciting to kind of dive into something new for a while. So, yeah, season 1, here we go. Do not miss it. Amazon Prime. If you need a free trial, a free subscription, my link is down in the description down below. That'll get you 30 days for free, and it'll help out the channel. So, you guys rock. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.